Did you ever see the Beatles?
No. I saw the Rolling Stones. I saw the Byrds, Iron Butterfly, Grand Funk Railroad.
I don't know who that is.
I don't think they made it to the multi-decade fame that the others had.
Cool. All right, well, here we are on YouTube. Do you want to say hi to everyone?
Hey, everyone. Hi.
We are doing social distancing on YouTube and are very thankful for the platforms that allow us to do this. Okay, so today we're going to talk about gemstones.
What type of gemstones are we going to talk about?
I don't know. I have a box and I have a clue. I will say, everyone watching, this is a treat to have Jay on. Jay actually was my boss a few years ago.
What's in the box? What's the clue? I'm curious.
It says, you may think these gems have a split personality. Are you talking about me when it's a little early in the morning, I haven't had my coffee? I'm not always this chipper, everyone. So I'm thinking split personality, could be split colors. Guess we're talking about bicolor gems today, Jay. Look at this.
What do you got there? Oh, yeah.
Well, I know this is an Ametrine. This is an Ametrine.
Is that an Ametrine?
Yeah, I feel like you and I bought a few of these at one point when I was working. Let me tell you, I think there is no better education than the gem business. It's great for street smarts.
Time for Street Smarts with Detective J.J. Bittenbinder. Shut up, you're all gonna die. Street Smarts.
Okay, so let's talk about bicolor gems. They're gems that have two colors. If a gem has more than two colors, say like a watermelon tourmaline, which we've talked about before, that's like it's party colored, PARTI hyphen colored. Tell us a little bit about bicolor gems, Jay.
Bicolor gems are, as you said, gems that have at least two colors in them. And frequently the lapidary, the cutter, will try to orient the color such that 40 to 60% it will be one color and 40 to 60% will be the other color. That's ideal. It's not always that way. They're frequently cut in some sort of rectangular emerald cut, because that shows the two colors. Many different types of bicolor gems. The ones off the top of my head, Ametrine's a great one. That's famous bicolor quartz, but there's also another quartz. I think you have it here.
Yeah.
It is a bicolor smoky quartz, right? Where part of it is smoky quartz, that dark brownish gray, and the other part perhaps is kind of light tannish gray or clear.
Okay, cool. So Ametrine, which is amethyst and citrine. We have bicolor quartz. What's this sucker right here? Oh, this is Ametrine rough, and I can see that now with the yellow and purple. Yeah, this is This is really cool looking.
Other types, I'll just riff a little bit. Ruby and sapphire can be bicolor. I've seen, particularly from Africa, from Songea and Mahenge, in area of Tanzania, they have a lot of bicolor stones. Bicolor sapphire, ruby and sapphire. You can have blue and pink, blue and red, yellow and blue, yellow and clear, yellow and green. Those are all the variations that I can think of. And then you've got bicolor topaz from Russia. There was an interesting find there some years ago where it's partially blue, naturally not irradiated, and the other part is kind of a tan color, and very striking separation of color. Fluorite is really a major bicolor and tricolor stone. Those are the ones. Of course, tourmaline. Tourmaline is perhaps, when people think of what do you first think of when you think of bicolor, tourmaline usually comes to mind.
Cool. Okay, so I have like 3 more boxes. I'm gonna grab one and we can start talking, because I assume that one of these will have something that you just mentioned.
Good chance, I would assume as well. Let's see.
Ooh, oh wait, I think this to me, just based on those colors, that looks like a fluorite. What do you think?
Yep, definitely fluorite.
Cool. Hey, you've purchased fluorite before. We've talked about fluorite a lot on the channel.
Fluorite's a really cool bicolor stone.
Why is that?
Lots of different shades of color, and it can be, sometimes you can have multicolors, 3 or 4 colors of fluorite.
How often have you purchased fluorite, and what do you think the benefit of having like a bicolored fluorite is in your collection?
Well, I have purchased quite a bit of it. The benefit, I would say, is it is the most affordable, perhaps the most affordable of all the bicolors, and it has very striking and unique and strong colors and separations. So for those reasons, it's easy to love bicolor fluorite.
Bicolor gems are kind of cool because sometimes it's actually two different stones, other times it's just two different colors. So for example, Ametrine is quartz, but half of that is citrine, which is quartz, and half of that is amethyst, which is quartz. What about fluorite, though? It's just a different nutrient. The nutrients are different, and you get different colors.
Right, the chemical nutrients that give pretty much all colored gemstones their color. As the crystal grows, the chemistry changes, and the crystals grow very slowly over who knows, thousands or hundreds of thousands of years. As the crystal grows, if the inherent chemistry that makes up that crystal chemistry, if it changes slightly, then for instance, if it's a tourmaline from Afghanistan and it's green, it's colored by iron, and then all of a sudden it gets a little manganese in it, then it can switch and it can go to a different color. So it can go green to blue. So the chemistry slowly changes, causing the color to change as the crystal grows. And as you said, it can result in two different gemstones, like ametrine, which amethyst is one stone on its own, citrine is another stone, but both of them are quartz. So as that quartz crystal grew, it started off with iron, and then at some point, perhaps, it changed and there was a little heat added to the crystal, and it changed from purple to yellow or golden, and it became ametrine.
All right, I'm gonna open up another box. This is definitely not gray, but it was in a gray box, and I'm gonna go on a limb and say this is Beryl, and it's looks like it's aquamarine and morganite. Right, so this is an example of a bicolor gem being two different types of stones. It had the nutrients for aquamarine, it had the nutrients for morganite, and there's different coloring agents for each of them. This part right here was snacking on manganese, while this part right here was snacking on iron. And I think that's pretty cool that you get the one piece of Beryl, two different colors, two different stones.
Those colors could have happened over 100,000 years or longer as that crystal was slowly growing. As that crystal grows, of course, we just described that if the chemistry changes, the color changes. But if the crystal grows extremely slowly, then the crystal ends up being highly flawless. If it grows relatively quickly, then it can be, filled with clouds or inclusions. So particularly when we're talking about tourmaline, you can see some bicolor tourmaline where it has a lot of inclusion, still has beautiful color separation. But then there are some bicolor that have beautiful color separation and highly flawless. And that is a degree of rarity that goes above and beyond just a regular bicolor.
Very cool.
So I thought that was interesting. I didn't know that.
It's gorgeous. Okay, one more box. All right, just by these striations, I know what this is. This is tourmaline. So then this bicolor
Then that piece of rough would cut a bicolor or a tricolor tourmaline.
But isn't tricolor, wouldn't that just be a party color tourmaline?
Well, that's a good question. I think some people would call it a party color. Some people would, if it has three distinct colors, you could call it a tricolor. Party color is also, Natalie, used for a different type of bicolor when it's found in sapphires, where the color is mixed, not a clear separation, but because of where the color center was, it could, as you turn the stone a little bit, you can see flashes of green and yellow. That would be a party color, or blue and yellow, where it doesn't have a demarcation line that you see in ametrine, let's say, or bicolor tourmaline, but you do see several colors in it. That's typically called party colored. But you could use it either way.
Alrighty, well, hey, everyone who is watching, I want you to take a closer look at this stone. Okay, one last question. I want you to tell us value factors when you're buying a bicolor stone. Tell us what you look for and what you don't look for.
Okay, like all colored stones, clarity is important. Type 1, type 2, type 3, but if it's cleaner, less flawed, that helps its value. But primarily for bicolor, you want to see for the most valuable, the most top specimen grade that you can imagine, you want to see strong colors and distinct color separation. So, when I think of those, that Russian topaz, it's like it could be a long crystal like this, and this part would be blue, like sky blue, and then all of a sudden it switches, and it's flawless, and it switches, and it's kind of a yellow tan color. So strong colors, distinct line. Same thing with bicolor tourmaline. When I asked John Bradshaw, what's the best bicolor you've ever seen? He goes, oh gosh, it's got to be a tourmaline. And then he said, best bicolor tourmalines I ever saw, that pocket in Maine that was in the late 60s. Now that's before my time. In Maine, there was a huge pocket, a big pegmatite that was found, and inside were tremendous amount of tourmalines and a lot of big bicolors. John said the pocket was so big you could drive a bulldozer into it. Now, the Maine tourmaline has been exhausted years ago before I entered the business. I entered the business in 1980? But that's what John said. Bicolor tourmaline from Maine, his most memorable bicolor.
All right, everyone, please send Jay the namaste emoji as a thank you. Jay, will you wave your hands and say bye-bye?
Bye-bye, adios.
All right, everyone, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on the future episodes that we've got coming up. Hopefully Jay will be back for our Iowa episode of Gems Across America. And in the meantime, keep watching the channel. See you later.